Welcome to the Exodus. It is a 1x3 expansion with everything that you could possibly need. It has an amazing open core, a beautiful shooting floor, an amazing roof with a beautiful hut, and everything that you might need. Before we get into the build, you can find the upkeep and the build code in the description, and I really hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. I will see you guys later. Okay, so once you're ready to go through the base, we'll start with the 4 bunkered externals, having 2 large barrels in them, and the upkeep is right here, which is identical across all the TCs. We'll head in through our gatehouse right here, which has good peaks leading into our compound from either side. And on the opposite side of our gatehouses, you can see 2 bedrooms in our compound. Across from the bedrooms will be our entrance to our actual base that you can find right here. Heading into our starter core, we agreed by electric furnaces on either side and plenty of storage for you to get your wipe started. On the opposite side of our gatehouses can be found a actual mobility chute that takes us all the way up to our shooting floor. Going back to our jump up on the first floor, we can see our battery found right here with core peaks into our open core right here. Heading up one more floor, we have an early game shooting floor on all 4 sides for you to defend your base if need comes to be. In here is also our entrance to the open core, which is beautiful and massive, and also turreted down from all angles with our tier 3 and 2 hidden vending machines in here. Head up one more floor and we are greeted by our actual bedroom area, which is where we can find our turrets and batteries, beds and lockers, and everything else that we might need to succeed in our wipe. Also a way to get up to the hut from our bedrooms right here, which is an easy way to get to roof. Once we are on roof, it is greeted by SAM sites, turrets, everything that you might need, and also a couple bedrooms right here that is easily sneakable for people to come to your roof. Besides that, we can go down to the actual shooting floor from here as well, giving us plenty of good peaks all the way around, with peaks through these little holes right here, and also a total of 8 roof peaks, so nobody can control your roof without you having a say in it. Back to the mobility chutes that'll take you downstairs right here. And that is all there is for this base. I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Okay, so once you're ready to start building, we're going to build no more than a square and 2 triangles. Wall in both the triangles, and unfortunately the starter for this base is not great, so we'll just have to use 2 double doors right here. Pick a triangle that you want to put your TC in and add on this frame. I'm going to upgrade the TC to its final costs, just so we have it all done. Just like that. Place on your TC, put a window on it, and obviously an actual window whenever you are available to do so. Inside of this triangle right here, we'll just go with 3 furnaces and another window on top of it. Now before we get into anything crazy, I'm going to upgrade everything right here to its final costs, and then I will be building the actual footprint so you guys understand what we're actually building here. So we're going to add on 1 square on either side of it. I'm going to upgrade everything to its final cost though. The floors will all be metal here. And then 2 triangles right here. And 2 triangles right here. These 2 squares will be metal. This will also be metal. And these will be metal as well. Everything else can be stone. So most of this will just be honeycomb and mobility. And this is the footprint that we are working with, which is just a 1x3 with some extra squares and triangles around it. But before we do anything else, let's start sealing it all in. Right here, we're going to have a loot room and another loot room. Same on the opposite side. Just like that, sectioning off our base into 2 parts, making it harder for raiders to gain control over our core. Right here, we're going to go with a garage door and 2 single doors. This will be for furnaces, but I will be using electric furnaces. Both these rooms will be loot rooms, and same with the opposite side, just like that. And that'll be what our core looks like. Same as always, all ceilings can always be metal, as it is cheap to actually get down early game. The honeycomb pieces though, we can leave stone. Let's use honeycomb off the first floor. Make sure that across from your entrance, you leave this last triangle open, as that'll be for mobility chute later on. Everything else can be honeycombed in. Now that we have all that honeycomb, we just got to deal with our entrance. So we'll go with 2 walls here, and a jump up here for later, and a bunch of garage door frames. Leave this wood for now so you can't get deeped on. And obviously, if you don't have a garage door yet, I would just place a double door here, so even if people do Molotov raid you, there will still be a door that they can't go through, making sure that you are strong until further ado. And once we head on inside, it should look something like this. So once we head in through the door, there's obviously garage doors, everything else that's needed, 12 electric furnaces total, plenty of loot rooms, lockers, and everything else you might need to get your wipe started. Once you're ready to continue on building though, we're going to do just that. To start it off, we're going to place down our external TCs so we cannot get TC griefed early game on. Start off by placing 4 squares foundations right here, and then cap it off for a gatehouse later on. We can then build out a half moon like that, a square, and then 3 triangles for our external TC. Leave this one open as we will be bunkering these in. So we'll upgrade everything to metal as to make sure that all the bunkers will be a total of actually 8 rockets, giving us 4 external bunkers in our base. I'll place this twig for now just so it's easier to build inside of it. Place on our TC over here and then a loot room right here. In the loot room, we can fit up to 2 boxes. I like using barrels for this though, as they don't stick through the frame as easily. As the normal boxes obviously will stick through the frame, as you can see right here, they'll stick through slightly. So when I put a garage door on it, the barrel cannot be seen, but the box can. So if you have the barrel BP, I would recommend using that. Once that's all in order, we place down these 2 door frames, but we're going to leave them twig for now. The reason we want to do that is we want to make sure that this one is actually built the right way, and I don't remember off the head where it's actually supposed to be placed. Place down these 2 twig foundations right here, go in between with a square and kind of just jiggle it around until it looks like it'll hit. Jiggle it around a little bit until it looks like it'll snap right in. You can then place it down, and if you have between 70 and 79 stability, it means we've done a good job. Now that we have it all placed, you can see that the bunker is working. We just got to upgrade everything to metal. These 2 we can obviously remove and upgrade that as well. Now, as you can see right here, once I upgrade this right here, the gap will be gone. And if I rotate it, sometimes the gap, you want this to overlap the way that you see it right here. So if you upgrade this one as well and rotate it, you can see that there is a tiny little gap there now. And when I rotate it, the gap is gone, which means it is not see-through. At the top though, it is see-through until we add down this frame. Make sure that you add it not on the actual wall, but on the actual gatehouse, just like so. We can then upgrade it and all gaps are gone and we have an external bunker. To open it up, it is as easily as just placing down this. We can then head on inside to reach both our boxes and everything else. We'll then put 2 garage doors on the actual batteries, just like that. Once that's all good, we can upgrade this foundation to stone and then connect it back to our base. Now for the entrance of our base, we will be using a full wall and then connect it to our external. To connect it though, we will have to upgrade these 2 and place down these walls because there is not enough stability to do it without it. There we go. Now that that is fully connected, we just got to copy it on the other side. So to do that, we're going to build out 4 squares again, cap it off like this, and we'll upgrade these 3, break all of these, and then build a half moon, a square, and a triangle. And then repeat the process that we did with the other external. So now that we have all 4 external TCs down, as you can see, the gatehouse ones will be on the mobility side and the bedrooms will be on the actual entrance side. All we got to do now is build these back to our base so the actual external TC overlay caps into our base. So by doing that, we'll add a full circle right here, a square on the other side, and a bunch of triangles like so. Remove these squares and triangles and repeat on the other side, just like so. We can also remove these 2 and these 2 as well, giving us our final external TC footprint. We can then repeat the same process on the opposite side. Once that's all good, our footprint should look something like this. For these though, we will be upgrading all of them to metal. Everything else can be left as stone. Now that we're this far in, all we gotta do now is actually build in our beds and gatehouses and seal it in the compound. We'll start off with the bedrooms by placing 2 windows facing into our base and obviously a ceiling on top of it. Place 2 physical windows and 2 embracers on either side. Inside of here, we'll use the gatehouses that we usually use, which will be 2 large boxes to crouch peek on and also to store kids, and then 2 beds in either gatehouse. And by the end, we'll have a total of 8 respawns in the compound. Head over to our actual gatehouse and build it in just like this. Once our beds and gatehouses are all in order, we are almost ready. Only thing we gotta do is add the actual Patrico peak and then properly connect it to our base. We'll start in front of our gatehouse. Place down these windows and doors, and then we'll add down some actual embracers on it as well. We can then add down this frame, which means you don't actually need to have the embracer, as these are still safe and people cannot climb through them. But I like having the embracer there as well. And place another double door and then seal it in. making it one more door to right into our actual base. Now we just got to connect it like this. You don't need all 4 of these frames. 2 of them will do just fine, but just for safety, I like using 4. And then repeat the process on this side. So 2 windows on either side, embrasures inside of all of them, and then the actual roof tile, and a door leading out. Once all 4 of them are connected properly, we can upgrade the actual frames to connect them. We'll start by adding down these in the back, and then a half wall in the front. Same on this side, frames in the back, and half walls in the front. There we go, everything is now connected and nothing will decay. Last thing we gotta do now is actually place our compound. But before we place the compound, we'll add down the actual turret pods, which will be just very simple 1 turret per gatehouse pods. So just like that. Repeat the process on all 4 gatehouses. And we'll place down the turret right away. Place it right in the center of the gatehouse. And then obviously make sure that you put embrasures on either side. Once we got that down, we can seal in the compound. Do keep in mind you don't actually need to place the chain link fence or turrets before sealing it. To seal in this compound, it has never been easier. We want to put this wall right here, and we want the foot of the compound to line up with these 2 metal walls right here. As you can see, if I rotate it, it'll be easier for you guys to see it. So you want it to snap right up in the corner, and then you want the foot of the compound to line up basically with that frame right there. We can then place this down, and I'm going to rotate this. And then all we got to do is repeat that process all the way around the base. Once we have all those walls down, all we got to do is seal in the rest, which is very easy. Go right in between it, make sure it looks like there's enough room for 2 walls, and then simply place down the last 2 walls. This one is just simple eye to hand coordination, and you won't have an issue doing it. Once we're all sealed, we can place down our large furnaces, which should fit perfectly right here, making it hard for raiders to actually walk through your compound during a raid defense. Once that's all good, we are good to set up our windmills. To do that, because we have this frame here, it won't actually allow us to place this frame where it's supposed to. As you can see, this one is not actually connected to both of them. So we'll have to use 2 frames. So instead of building 6 tall like we usually do, we're only going to build 5. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. Once we're 5 tall, we'll place down our actual windmills. Repeat the process on all 4 sides. Now that we have windmills, we obviously need batteries. Look at this jump up right here and go to this triangle right here, which will be our battery pod. So we'll place down our batteries inside and put a window on it off rip. And we now have 2 batteries to wire up all our compound turrets and the electric furnaces hidden right underneath. Now that that's good, we obviously would like to secure these batteries, so let's get right to it. First thing we're going to do is build these 3 walls, a single door facing in, and a jump up right here. I'm going to open up this jump up now, and we'll head up 1 more floor. Once we're at this floor, we'll add down this again to make it more secure. In here, we will have a full wall, rotate this wall out as well. Then we will add a window looking into our future open core. This room is now completely secure and we are good to continue. We'll add on windows here right away, and then a couple of garage doors right here, and a single door right here. Meaning that we now have batteries and everything that we might need with open core peaks for later on. Now that we are this far, we might as well build the open core as well. Start by building up 2 high on this loot room, 2 high on this loot room, and 2 high on this, giving us this as an open core. We'll add on these walls in between right here, and a double door frame right here. Right here, we'll add a single door and 2 full walls, single door leading in right here, and a wall right here, with our last jump up right here. For now, we'll leave this wood like always, but we'll now open up this one. Place a single door leading out to our early game shooting floor right there, and a bunch of garage doors. Obviously, leaving this single door will mess up mobility slightly, so it is up to you whether or not you'd like to leave it as a single door or use a double door instead. Inside of our actual open core, we will go with just a vending machine right here. Now that we're working with this, all we gotta do is secure this floor. We'll start by adding up all these half walls and then door frames on top of it and floors on top of that. On these 2, we'll add frames. On these 2, we'll add low walls, and then obviously ramps looking in, and we'll put a full ceiling on it. just like that. Our base is now secure until further ado. I do have one recommendation to do though, and that is to add down these 2 half walls in front of the ramp peaks that you can soft side out later. And before adding these 2 down, add 2 more wood walls here as well. And you'll just have to soft side out all of these later on, but at least if people land on your roof or climb up, they won't be able to look straight into your base. Everything here we will upgrade to high wall, and we're now ready to actually decorate our open core. First thing first is to metal it all up so our loot rooms are strong, and then add down half walls in every single frame in the floor. Before we seal in this floor right here, which will be for 2 boxes that can be reached from our battery room, we'll place down our boxes beforehand. We'll place down these 2 boxes right here and put a floor on it, and these can now be reached from outside, just like so. Last floor will fully seal in, and then these 3 will seal in, and the last 3 ones we will stick some furnaces inside of so we can cook charcoal and everything else needed within our open core. Upgrade these floors to metal to make sure that they are the same strength as going through this window, and we are good to continue building. First thing I'll do is obviously build in the open core loot rooms. To do that, we'll go in all the loot rooms and add down a twig floor and 2 frames like so. Same with every other loot room, just like so. The reason we do this with twig is because we obviously don't want these twig pieces to be on the outside later on. But now that we are out here, we might as well honeycomb in our base. The 2 honeycombs right next to our door can just be fully built up, just like so, up to our actual floor. Don't forget to honeycomb this one as well. Once that is done, we can do the same on this side right here. Leave this one open just for a little bit, but we'll secure it right now. Start by adding a single door right here with a frame on top. Honeycomb the next floor, like so. And put a wall right here with another frame. The right hand side we can fully honeycomb, and the left hand side we'll put a locker in. I'll show you why very soon. Now that we got our locker in, we'll put a door facing out right here with another door here. Last floor, we'll add another frame, and we'll leave it like that just for now. And then as you can see, we'll put another door right here, and this will work as a mobility chute, taking us all the way up to the roof. Just like that. But let's get back into the open core. So now that we have our boxes placed inside of all our loot rooms, we'll build in the last piece, which will be a layer of half walls right here, but only these 2 for now. We'll then place down a ramp in the middle, and then 2 low walls right next to it, and jump on in to place down 2 more large boxes in here that'll work for easy drop boxes. Once we got that down, we'll put a ceiling on it, and this can be reached from both sides. Then jump on inside, place a single door here, wall here, and a double door here. On the single door frames, we will add down 2 vending machines, and then inside of this hut, we'll also add down our tier 3. Now that our tier 3 has been placed in here, we're good to seal it off with a door, just like so, giving us everything that we need to actually succeed in life, and our open core is finished. We'll open these up for now on either side. Once that these are up, we will add down metal walls right here and upgrade these to metal as well. And we'll start sealing in the next floor so it's not so empty and open. To do so, we'll start with the jump up by adding down 2 walls and a bunch of door frames right next to it. Just like so. Go over to this side and add 1 last single door right here and a wall all around it. Inside of these, we will place down a few lockers with doors on top of them, just like so. This triangle will be for a turret, and this one will be for a battery. Same on this side, turret on the ramp, and battery on the right. We'll seal in the batteries right away with a couple of windows. Now that that's all good, we'll secure the rest. First, we'll add windows along this whole wall, and a double door frame on the other wall. Put windows on every single one of these to make it harder for raiders to shoot you, and embracers on it. Place half walls here to honeycomb and pancake layer our open core, and a ceiling on top. This centerpiece here will add one more ramp, so we can add a couple boxes that can work as drop boxes off of our roof, and a garage door on it as well. Once we're this far in, all we gotta do is seal off our ceiling. Just like that. We'll upgrade these as well, as they are the mobility chutes, and these ones, but everything else can be left as stone. Once we're done with that, our base is starting to look fairly finished. We'll just place down these turrets in here for now, as well as some beds inside of these, giving us 8 respawn points until further ado. Now that we got those 8 beds down, we'll place down 2 more beds right here, giving us a total of 12 respawn points until further ado. Now that we got that unlocked, we have 12 respawn points on this floor. We can open up this frame again, place a double door facing out and a bunch of garage doors facing in. We'll also add down these frames right here for some extra stability and potential door frames if we would like to have more doors on this floor. We could, for example, add doors on these. That'll make it a lot harder to gain control over this floor. Turrets will still have decent visual all around as well. Now that that's good, let's start lifting up our shooting floor. To do so, we'll start with this one right here by adding down these 3 frames in this floor. Same on the other side, these 3 frames in this floor. Then 3 windows and a ceiling on top. These 3 windows and a ceiling on top, which will be easily reached from our open core, giving us extra respawn points and an early game shooting floor that can easily be used for your advantage. Don't forget to put embracers on them as well. Same with the opposite side. At our mobility chute, we'll have the same type of shooting floor. Now that that's good, we can build up our actual shooting floor. First thing we'll do is build up these 2 frames right here on all sides of the base. We'll then build up these frames 2 tall. Now that those are 2 tall, we'll build these ones 3 tall. Now that everything is built to its final height, we'll start by adding down some floors. Start over here by adding these 2 and this one as well. Do this all the way around the base. We can then add down some windows, and we'll start over by our actual entrance to our base right here by just adding down 3 simple windows right here. 2 windows lifted here, 2 windows here, half wall, and a window here, and windows here. And last but not least, here as well. We'll then head back down to our actual entrance and start adding our roof tiles right here all the way around the base. Now that that's good, we'll start by adding down these roof tiles right here all the way around the base. I would recommend using a upgraded build skin. As you can see, if this is left as stone, then you won't get the good peak as you will over on this side right here. So if you have any of the upgraded build skins, use those, they all work. Now that we have all of those placed, we're good to do the last piece of the puzzle, which is right over here by adding a half wall right here. Jump on top of it, then add down these 2 frames and a frame in between. Full wall, roof, and a ceiling on top. And then we'll add on all of these squares, same as the floor below it. Go over to this side as well and add a full roof right here. And we're starting to look sealed, but not just yet. Add low walls on front of all the actual peaks and a ceiling on top of it. And as you can see now, we have now created a shooting floor with plenty of peaks all the way around our base, and also good roof peaks all around our base too, making it all very multifunctional. We can then add down this last piece, which is a pair of roofs on top of it. We'll then go back on the roof and add a window right here looking into our base and a door. Build these ramps that'll work the same way as the gatehouse ones, where people can't climb through these whatsoever. Place down some embracers as well. And last but not least, a door. Now that that's good, we're starting to get somewhere. Go to this side, which is still left open, and add 3 full walls and 2 windows facing in, and a ceiling on top, a double door, and a couple of beds. Inside of these, we can also place down some large boxes that can be reached from both downstairs and upstairs, so make sure you put locks on them in case you lose shooting floor control, as these will most likely have kits in them. But the good thing about them is that you can re-kit yourself from both down here on your physical shooting floor and also from your roof. We'll do the same as we did downstairs and add on these ramps up here as well. Now that that's good, our base is getting somewhere. On top of these, we will add a full wall and 2 sets of low walls. Full wall, 2 sets of low walls, so we can place down our windmills right here. Now that our windmills have all been placed, we are almost finished. These windmills will be arranged into these batteries that can be found down here behind these doors. For batteries, if you only want 2, just root combine 2 windmills into one of them. We'll head into our hut here and start adding a bunch of frames all the way around it. Now that we have frames around it, we'll put a ceiling on it and a ceiling at the very top. We are almost finished. Now that we are in here, we'll add 2 doors right here and chain link fences all the way around it. Inside of our little hut, we can fit quite a few beds. Make sure you don't place too many beds though, as it will obviously block you from getting up this garage door. We can also fit a couple of boxes in here, but like I said, try not to block the garage doors and also don't block too much of the visual from these actual peaks in here. But this should do for now. All we gotta do next is upgrade a couple of floors, and we're gonna upgrade every single one. Now all we'd like to add to finish it off is 2 walls and a roof right here on all 4 sides of the base, just like so. So we can go underneath it and place down 4 turrets, and on top of it 4 SAM sites. Same on the other sides, 1 turret at the bottom and 1 SAM site on the top, giving us full control over air control and also people trying to land on our roof. Now that that's done, all we gotta do is a couple deployables and finish off the base. No better way to start by actually adding the metal barricades down to our gatehouse, which I am sure that you all know how to do by now. We'll also upgrade the jump up side of the base right here all to metal. Same with the mobility side, we'll also upgrade it all to metal. Now that that's all metal, the only thing left stone is the actual honeycomb, and our base is practically finished. Without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed the base design, and don't forget to subscribe to my new channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks.